Against the Ropes podcast.
So I used to go to Morris Park boxing gym a lot, either to see fighters, to pick up fighters. It was just part of that Joe DeGuardia Bronx boxing world. And I remember seeing Louis Resto there, and everyone was like, poof, they were whispering. And I said, you know what? He's so nice. He was a quiet guy, mostly working with young kids. I didn't really see him working with a lot of grown-up fighters or older fighters, mostly young kids. And I said, well, what's going on with him? And they said, oh, that was the guy that was banned from boxing. He was put in jail. And I'm like, really? This guy? He's so nice. So it turned out he was living in the gym, in the basement. And that's where I met him. And I said, you know, is this true? Did you do what they said that you did? And he said, he said, no, it's not true. And that's, and then the journalistic instincts I had and seeing a great story or potentially, I really set out because I wanted to set him free. That other movie that came out not too long ago, about the fighter that was jailed for a long time. I forget the name of it. I thought maybe this would be this documentary that would show him to be innocent. So that's how I met him, and that's what I thought at first.
You did have that clip ready because you did mention, like Chris said, you thought possibly he wasn't 100% at fault. You thought you were maybe going to bring justice to this case, right? Not necessarily believing that Luis Resto was 100% guilty. And then, like you said, turn of events, right? And I do have a question about that, but let's go ahead and play this audio clip real fast.
Confession had been declared inadmissible in the 1986 trial. No one had ever heard them. After months of digging through files, I found the transcripts of the conversation that day. Louis had been lying to me. I confronted him outside of his sister's apartment.
So that's a clip from the documentary. Man, what was that like when you thought you were doing this project that was going a certain way, and all of a sudden, you find that out that he had admitted to it?
I was really upset because you meet Louis and he's a really sweet guy.
You kind of want to believe him, right?
Yeah. I wanted to believe him 100%, and he's so he's not a man of a lot of words. And his words are simple, and he really, maybe he got to 4th or 5th or 6th grade education, maybe. So when I found those transcripts, and those were recorded on what's called a NAGRA device, an undercover detective had it as a secret undercover recording, concealed recording. And when I found those transcripts, I was like, oh man, he's been lying to me. And I was really upset. Well, first of all, I was upset because, he wasn't following the script. The script in the movie was supposed to be, I was supposed to be setting this guy free.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I found out, wait a minute, he's guilty. So what I realized is that, and then I went and I confronted him, and he cried. He cried, and he said, and he says this classic line, which I don't know if he knew or realized it was a classic line. He was like, I could have been someone. I could have been the champion. It's kind of like from, On the Waterfront. I could have, Brando saying I could have been a champion.
Raging
Boy,
Boy,
a contender. So at that point, I felt bad for him, but I also knew he was broken, and I didn't want to break him anymore. I didn't want to just make him film. It's like, okay, you're guilty. How guilty are you? I'm going to make you feel so guilty. I wanted to, in my own way, try to say, well, you know what? Maybe there's a way that you might be able to save your soul. And, in all religions, all spiritual and ways, confessing and asking for forgiveness is something that can change you and be cathartic. And I said, well, would you go and talk to him? And he was living with this burden and this lie, and I knew he didn't want to lie. And going back to the original crime, if we're going to go there, I don't think he would even wanted to go in there with padded gloves, but I think that there was too much pressure at that point, and he was not equipped to defend himself against the forces that put him in that position. So I really think that I was going to try to help him and try to save him, and that's pretty much what I did. And some people took shots at the film. Oh, you took him on this pity potty trip, but really he couldn't set up some of it himself. And I said, do you want to do that? And that's why I filmed myself saying, do you want to go? Let's go down and let's find out. So
yeah. So real quickly, they said Denzel here. Denzel Clyde from Comics Bit, who's a film person. He said it was Denzel.
And Hurricane Carter, yeah.
Okay, so it was Denzel. And let me ask you this because...
Oh, yeah, Denzel.
Yeah. Did you have to change the title of the documentary after you found that out?